I get to make my living bass fishing, traveling across the country, finding fish and figuring out a way to make them bite on days when they don't want to bite.
And how do you describe yourself as a person?
I am told that I'm really highly competitive, you know, and probably overly intense when it comes to fishing. Gosh dang it! I think a lot of misconceptions is that it's all laid back under a shade tree, you know, but I treat it as a job. I'm not there to have fun. I'm there to do good, to win, to provide for my family. Woo-hoo! Looky there! My motivation is to win, to put a trophy on that mantle. Really ultra competitive, intense, and I feel like I've always done it the right way. I feel like I've just worked hard. Yes! That's just how I was raised. I feel like, man, if there's an ounce of daylight left, I'm gonna be out there. I'm gonna be doing all I can to find one more spot that I can get a bite. I've been dreading this between the scales interview process. You know, we get to a tournament and it's all business, and I want to focus on that tournament. Like, time management to me is everything. I'm sitting here looking at this page of paper he has. We're gonna be here a little bit.
And that's what you've been dreading.
That's what I've been dreading. I'm gonna try to get even with the guy behind this camera right now and make him stay out there daylight to dark for making me have to do this video. I live in northeast Oklahoma, outside of a little town called Talala. I think there's maybe 50 to 100 people in Talala. It's pretty quiet. Every house that you see is a family member from our house. I was really late getting married, I feel like, in these days and times. I was 31 when I got married. She's the best. She's just truly, truly great, amazing, amazing woman, and really supportive of what I do. We got two great children, Kylie, who's now married and made me a grandpa. And then I've got a son who's, heck, he's now 14. He's taller than me. I don't ever admit it. I'm admitting it here, Kate. I will say that you're finally taller than me. And my son's starting to get really competitive. You know, he's getting competitive in bass fishing and obviously basketball and playing football. And he's starting to feel his oats a little bit, that he's getting stronger and bigger and better than Dad. But I got him the last game. I went to bed last night as a winner. My next event's Stage 7 up at Saginaw Bay, Michigan, a body of water we've never had any tournaments on. Pretty excited to get up there. It's gonna be a very diverse body of water. It is such a vast fishery. I'm gonna spend a lot of time on Google Earth and studying that and knowing some areas that I think look good just from those images to try to figure out where to put my boat. And the big question is gonna be largemouth or smallmouth. I've never been accused of being the neatest, but this is all cottonwood. You can just see it's everywhere. You know, for this particular event, I need to go through and I need to tighten every bolt on that boat, because, you know, this event's gonna test my boat. It's okay if I don't tighten those. This is what happens. It gets loose and then you break a bolt. It's kind of cool. He's at an age now that he can help you do anything. He's just a huge help, huge help. Saginaw Bay is gonna be rough. Anytime I go to the Great Lakes, I generally put a different prop on my boat. You know, I've put extra bilge pumps in my boat. Put everything in my favor not to have any issues when I get out there. So we're just tightening bolts down and going over everything, not to have any mechanical failures while we're up there. So for me to go to an event, I make a list of every kind of bait that I want. And for this event, I had my smallmouth baits, you know, on one side of the list. I had all my largemouth baits, and I try to get all those tied on. And then I have backups to those baits in my truck. I can't make my mind up. I really would love just to take all largemouth stuff out of here and just make myself commit to smallmouth. Just 100% commit. They're just bigger up there. I mean, there's just no doubt they're bigger. 3 rod and reel setups that I think will be on my deck if I can make this smallmouth play. One, obviously, is going to be a drop shot. Flatworm, that is a staple. Got a little 1/0 hook. Anybody going smallmouth fishing anywhere across the country is going to have that bait tied on. Another bait that I hope to make work, just so I can cover a little bit more water, is just a Berkeley spy bait. I've got it on a 7-1 medium light action rod. And then last, you know, you've got to have the little general tied on. This is a Ned rig, just a great little bait to throw. I've got it on a bigger rod. It's a 7-4 medium action rod. Those 3 rods, I can't imagine they won't be on my deck for the entirety of that tournament. All right, so I got the boat ready, I got the rods ready, bolts are tightened, screws are tightened. I want to go make one last check of the pecans before I leave for a week. Gonna take Cade out there with me. You know, 10 years ago, I bought a pecan farm, and it's just a great way for me to spend time with Cade, teach him work ethic. It's gonna be a great income, you know, the day I decide to retire. The pecan orchard, this is a place I love to come to. After tournament, obviously before tournament, me and Cade have a lot of fun out here. For me, I like getting on a tractor and taking a step back from fishing a little bit, and it's also a place that I can go do some of that stuff with Cade. You know, he helps throughout the harvest, and it kind of gives him confidence driving a tractor, you know, having success, and there's something to be said at the end of the day when you look back and you can see all the work you've done and what you've accomplished. So my wife gets really aggravated at me because I start lots of projects. It's just me. I just, like I said, I really like being busy. On top of all of it, me and Brent Salt started a high school fishing team. We got 55 kids on our team. So not only do we go practice all our casting in the pool, and we have tournaments, you know, on the side. And, each week it's a little bit different, and I'm just proud of it. It's a lot of fun. It's rejuvenated me in my career and teaching these kids. It's making a difference in the community, I feel like, and it's just it's fun. It's gratifying to know that we're changing some kids' lives, and I'm enjoying it a bunch. Well, we got everything packed up. One of the hardest things that I do in my career is leaving the house. We got a 14.5-hour drive ahead of us. Got me a little coffee. Road trip, here we go. I've been bass fishing since I was a kid, like literally a little kid. I don't know where I got it from. You know, my mom and dad did not fish at all. I remember begging Dad for an inflatable boat. I think I slept in that yellow boat for a few nights, and finally talked him into a Bass Tracker V17 with a 40 horse on it. Just read a lot of magazines, and I didn't know any different, didn't know any better. Got to go to work for a man by the name of Sam Rosevsky that owned a Ranger dealership, Bedford Sales. I swept a lot of boats, I cleaned a lot of boats at his dealership, and you know, eventually he just let me kind of work in the tackle area, and I stocked a lot of tackle and would drool over all of it, you know. But I learned a lot, and he took me on some really, really neat trips. Qualified for my first Bassmaster Classic in 2000. And that was in Chicago. And that's when I got like a paying sponsor. It was the greatest thing ever. The career kind of took off after that. I bought a camper and I traveled the country in that thing for years. And you know, I just remember those days, like it was so hot in that trailer, but I had tackle laid everywhere on the floor. And then I won a tournament. I won a top 150 on Lake Eufaula, $100,000. And to me, like that was my pinnacle. Like I bought a house. I bought a real house and 80 acres with it. And after that, I kind of got in a groove and had a lot of success, and it was just a lot of fun. I just, you know, was single and just traveled the country trying to catch bass. 2016, we have a classic here in Oklahoma on Grand Lake. And then the final day, I catch a 29-pound stringer on a group of fish that they all came together and bit for me, and it was just really, really cool. You know, you look back on your career and wanting to win all those other classics, and to win my first one in front of the hometown, it was really, really special for me. I feel like I've always done it the right way. I feel like I've just worked hard. Like I feel guilty if I'm not on the water when the sun's coming up. That's really helped me stay competitive, just being on the water as much as I possibly can. Hey guys, we made it to Bay City. We got 2 days to cover a lot of water. In my mind, smallmouth should win it. So that's really what I'm gonna focus on for 2 days. Throw around, drop shot, and a little swim bait and see if we can catch something.
What you doing in there, Edwin?
Making sure we got what we need. It's gonna be hard to get out of here, but I'm gonna try. Yeah. I got it. I racked my brain. How is it gonna be one? You know, and if you just knew that, then you'd go practice that way. There's just so many different ways for these to unfold. All right, enough talking. I'm backing it in. I feel like this is how you win tournaments, is just idling behind the wheel of your boat, trusting your electronics, trying to find something off the wall, off the contour lines. I'm here to find something super special. I want to try to win this event, and just looking for that one magic rock or rock pile or something. You just always want to find something different, you know? Like right there's a bigger rock. I want to mark that bigger rock. If there's just a few, it might be something. Like there's another one right there. Just keep idling. I'm just gonna try to see, oh gosh, that was a good one. See what's different out here. Just, man, a high spot, a rocky spot. The first thing I try to determine when I come to a body of water is what depth do I need to fish? That first bite's really critical to telling us that. Big rock. I think there's a fish sitting on top of this one. You know, most events I have a lot at stake, you know, points, and you're trying to get all the points you can. And fortunately, I'm above the Redcrest line by a plenty. I don't think I even have to catch a fish here. There's a lot safer things to be doing right now than what I'm doing. And with only 2 days of practice, we're really rolling the dice, being out here in no man's land, just trying to find something special. There's a 5-foot tall rock right there. So a lot of times, you know, in these Great Lakes, that big rock provides shade. All right, let's keep moving. For me, it's all about finding an area. I don't try to get bites in practice. I just want to find an area or 2 or 3 or 4 or a pattern that I'm comfortable with running. All kinds of bait fish I feel like out here. Just not seeing what I would think is bass. Well, an update from the first, 5-6 hours of the day is we have accomplished nothing. We're just looking for that first bite. Give me a clue what depth to fish, and that's what I'm trying to do. A lot of water out here to cover though. I mean, they could be anywhere. Oh, he ate it. That's a smallmouth. We found a couple fish. No doubt, smallmouth. Big one too. It did tell me something though. They're 30 feet. So I might need to be looking a little deeper when I'm out there on some of that stuff. Still have yet to catch a bass. I'll be honest, still trying to figure out what depth. I'm going between 20 and I'm in 40 right now. We're still hunting. It's just, man, this is bass fishing. Everybody thinks that we whack them. I spend lots of hours looking at these two things. I'm not discouraged. I mean, this is part of it. I can't tell you how many tournaments I've won and not had a bite the first day of practice. I'm gonna keep looking. Hey. Oh, I think that was bottom. All right, let's move on. Well, we have fished deep all day. We're gonna try to move up here shallow and just fish some rocks and rock veins and see if we can get a bite. Good night. Getting aggravating. Hey, hey, I can catch a bass. I can catch a bass, and it's a big one. I mean, a big one. Holy smokes. We've been fishing way too deep all day long. Cool. That's a 5-pounder. Holy smokes. Let's put a little symbol right here, meaning we caught one. I don't know if y'all seen that, but that sure made me excited. We fished all day for that bite. Got a bite on a swim bait. I can do that. That's something I can cover a lot of territory with. And there's a fish on it. And another one, and another one. Oh, look, there's a big one. Woo, we got 2 baits now that'll catch them. A big isolated rock right there. We made 3 casts across it, got 3, 4 bites. That just makes me smile. You go all day without getting a bite. Just takes a little bit. Yep, it was backwards from what I thought. They're all shallow. Shallow. Isn't that crazy? You go all day, don't get any bites. There's another one right there. And then you just get something figured out. I'm ready for the tournament to start. I'll go do this the entire day. I've got all the confidence in the world in this right here. There she is. When I'm practicing, you know, whether it be largemouth or smallmouth, I always try to find a bait that I can cover a lot of water with and keep trying different depths. That for me has been the formula that has worked, you know, over the last 20 years in finding fish and trying to find them fairly quickly. Well, man, that's a brutal day. Plan for tomorrow. I'm gonna really study my map, my sea map. I need to see if there's something over on that west shore, maybe to, you know, tie it all together, maybe have a few more areas. I'm gonna stick with smallmouth. I'm gonna do or die this thing, so that's my plan. You know, last couple of years, I've traveled with Ott Defoe and Andy Montgomery, 2 great guys, 2 fellow Bass Pro Nitro General Tire teammates. You know, the great thing about Ott and Andy, they're super laid back. Like, they're way more laid back than I am. And those 2 knuckleheads, like, they're younger than me, and they will have junk food laid out all throughout the house, and they try to tempt me with it. They eat a lot of food that a 48-year-old guy shouldn't be eating.
Look. He's hiding so Tuesday don't see. I know there's a pizza box in there.
I've got pizza in here. I'm not ashamed of it.
I'll travel with some food. My wife made a dish for me, and I got a deal of lasagna.
He ain't gonna tell Tuesday.
They're fun, though. They're a lot of fun. They're laid back. They're good for me. I'm committed, smallmouth all the way. Kind of excited about it. You know, we did have 4 bites. We just need to find a few more to make it work. So we put in on the other side today. We're gonna look at some of this stuff on this shoreline over here and see if we can find the mother lode of them. We need to find them somewhere out there. You know, we fished a whole nother section of the lake today, and it started off really good. I had 3 bites, saw, you know, 4 or 5 fish follow one of those fish in, saw another area that had a couple fish in it. You know, the one I caught was small, but I had a couple on that were pretty decent. And then we went forever and didn't get another bite. I mean, forever. And then the very end of the day, I had 3 bites, like in 4 or 5 casts. Again, a couple of them were small, but I had one follow it in that was a decent fish. You know, today those bites came on a couple different things, you know, a swim bait and a drop shot, a couple on a crankbait, I guess. My plan is to just really slow down and fish those few areas that I had bites. So I'm gonna get back to the house, retie, you know, tie on a couple drop shots, some swim baits, a couple crankbaits. I hope we can put this together tomorrow and make something happen. First day of the tournament. It's one of those moments where like, man, I'm going fishing today and I'm making my living trying to catch fish. A lot of anxiety, you know, not knowing how the day's gonna unfold, and you always want to get it started good. It all comes down to today, you know, just seeing if we can put it all together, you know, if we got the right pieces for the puzzle. My motivation is to win, to put a trophy on that mantle. For me this week, a successful tournament is gonna be winning. I don't really want anything less than that. So few opportunities to hoist that trophy, and there's one more opportunity I have this week to do it, and that's my motivation. All right, guys, we just finished stage 7. I was 100% all in for smallmouth. My first day of practice, I fished deep like until 4 o'clock. I go shallow, I have 4 bites, and so then the next day I fish shallow the rest of the time. I felt like it was a good game plan. I felt like the right caliber of fish were up there. I was about an hour and a half, 2 hours into my tournament, and I hadn't caught anywhere I wanted to start. You know, the whole reason why I was all in on these smallmouth, I didn't have an opportunity to win Angler of the Year. I could not fall out of Redcrest if I didn't catch a bass. So my whole goal was to win. And I felt like smallmouth was the way to do it. I never made one cast for largemouth.
Edwin Evers is on the climb. Edwin is up to 22nd place. He's 2 ounces back. He only needs a 2-3 to hop across that Toro cut line with an hour left in the day. This guy doesn't want to be trailing home, and he just might not be. He has climbed above the Toro cut line and gotten himself all the way to 15th place.
We made it. Man, it don't matter if you catch them in the first round, the second round, or the third round. We waited till the third period to catch them. Wow, I'm excited the day's over, and I'm headed in.
You know, I just got finished, and today did not go well. Today I only caught 2, and I still don't regret it. I had a 414 and had a few other bites, you know, and I feel like I had another hour, I was gonna find them. So well, I finished, I'm pretty sure 40th. I only caught 2 fish today. I don't regret it. You know, I don't regret what I did. I had fun. I was fully committed to it, and it's not very often in your career that you get to make your mind up and you don't have to adjust. We made heavy hitters, we made Redcrest, had a good season. I'm not gonna be discouraged. I'm really fortunate to get to do what I do. I love my job. I love being out on Great Lakes. I love smallmouth fishing. I love it all, you know. And I appreciate you guys following along, and I hope you got to see a little behind the scenes of Edwin Evers and his family and my life. So I appreciate you guys following along.